All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Innovators of Italy. I am John Zazzaro, the president and co-founder of MediaTech Ventures. I will be your host for today. And we're extremely excited to present the inaugural class of our new market entry program. 6 incredible innovators out of Italy that are all going to be pitching for you and showing you what they've got shortly. Again, if you're interested in joining us in the Gamer Jibe environment, you can log on to the Gamer Jibe environment. Just head over to gamerjibe.com, go to their events. You'll see the Innovators of Italy, and then you just need to register, create your avatar, and you're in it. Otherwise, you're going to stick with me here, and we're going to kind of walk around the environment. We're going to bring up Scott Fetters, founder of 2112, as well as Bart Pascoli from ITA in a moment, just to give a little introduction about their organization and themselves. We've got a incredible panel on venture capital in Italy as well. So a lot of really good insight, innovation from Italy, about Italy, and all things Italy. So for those of you, again, that are interested in joining us in Gamer Jibe, this is what the environment looks like. There's already a bunch of people here. It's super fun, exciting. Feel free to network with everybody. It's really cool. And find somebody with a MediaTech Ventures logo above their head and ask them for the code so you can unlock some of the custom features that we've built for you. Just find somebody like Megan as an example, and you can invite them to private chat and message them. So we're going to go ahead and bring up now Scott and Bart. Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, good morning. Great.
Good morning. Remove that screen for now. Excellent. So if you guys don't mind, give a little introduction about yourself, talk a little bit about the program, what you're excited about today. Scott, we can start with you.
Sounds good. Great to be here. So Scott Fetters, founder director of 2112 and more recently Center for Creative Entrepreneurship. We have for the last about 10 years been focused on solving issues with fragmentation in Chicago's market and building a comprehensive creative ecosystem that ends up resulting in 160,000 square foot facility supporting all aspects of creatives and creative entrepreneurship. So the last 2 years, we've made a shift, really looking at more of a global vision of solving issues for the creative economy, and we're very excited to have worked with MediaTech Ventures, combining their curriculum with our network. It's been amazing to work with these companies as a first joint program, and we're very excited to hear from them today and excited to work for them for the next year.
Excellent. Mr. Pascoli, over to you.
Yeah, well, I'm Bart Pascoli. I'm with the Italian Trade Agency here in Chicago, and we are very proud to be here today with MediaTech and 2112, and especially proud of our 6 startups that have worked extremely hard and providing you a great opportunity and proposition today with their latest innovation. I wanted to give a shout out to our Italian consulate we have here in Chicago and to our trade office, where we have a great team with Marco Verna as our director and Leonardo Torini and Michael Capiello that are following along with me this project for startups now in its 2nd edition that this year, next month in December, we'll be hosting an event with 2112 in person with some of the startups that you'll be seeing today. So it's the real deal that we're bringing.
We can get out of the virtual environment and in an actual real environment.
Exactly. And I just have to say that the startup market in Italy has been phenomenal lately. In some cases, between seed and Series A and Series B, the ratio of foreign investors to national domestic investors is 3-to-1 or 4-to-1. So we've seen that a lot of people are looking at the Made in Italy brand to integrate into their portfolios. And if you ever show your portfolio to someone else, they'll probably ask you, ooh, what are you doing with Italy? Well, today we're going to get a chance to find out what our 6 Italian startups are doing here in Chicago. And I just have to say the market's been growing exponentially for us. We've already passed 2019 highs in terms of foreign investors in the Italian startup system. We just launched an innovation system that opens in San Francisco next month. For those of you who are in media, we do the CES show with 53 Italian companies, and we do South by Southwest. So shout out to your colleague Paul O'Brien down there in Texas. And we just have a lot of innovation on the platform today, and continuously as this program we do with 4 other offices here in the U.S. and numerous countries throughout the world, bringing the latest in Italian innovation. Again, I just have to stress that our 6 startups today have worked tirelessly hard with 2112 and MediaTech, and we're really proud to have them showcase their innovation. The ecosystem, we're experiencing a second renaissance when it comes to technology and entrepreneurship in Italy, and we are really proud to be able to showcase these 6 companies today, and look forward to working with them in the future as well. So I'll pass the baton with that.
Fantastic. Thank you, good sir. I'm going to go ahead and showcase again for those of you that are in Gamer Jibe. So you go into, so if you click on view schedule, you can click on any of these at any point in time and it will bring you to the correct room, or you can click on teleport and you can go up to the startup booth section and it'll bring you to this room here. So for those of you that aren't watching, for those of you that are watching the stream that want to come in here, you can come to the booths themselves and click and watch their pitches that have been recorded actually. So it's kind of pick and choose your experience, which is always exciting. So, you know, it's been an absolute pleasure working with ITA and 2112 on this program. And, you know, there's definitely a lot to be desired and continuing to bridge the gap. Thank you, Pete, for all the love between startup ecosystems. And I think this is going to be a really good example of the incredible and brilliant innovation coming out of Italy, but also the conversations that'll take place on more opportunities that we can explore in continuously bridging that gap between these ecosystems with more venture capital, more access, more opportunity, and more visibility. And you know, it's one of the big reasons why I'm extremely excited to have the community platform we do at MediaTech, which everybody should go and create a profile on, because all the startups that are in our ecosystem and partners and friends alike are on that platform. And we continue to bridge that gap and have those conversations even beyond the program. So it's definitely a good place to be and to continue those relationships and continue growing. Love the shorts there on Donato. Such short shorts. It's fantastic. So down here, you obviously can watch the video if you want, or you can get rid of it. Obviously, I'm gonna get rid of it because we don't need to be watching that live while we're actually here live with you. So I'm gonna go ahead now, and Scott and Bart, thank you so much for your time. We'll hopefully see you in Gamer Jibe shortly. Yes, and we'll keep going from there. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you both.
And without further ado, let's get into the startups. First up, we have Ernesto.
Hi, everyone.
Founder
Hi, John.
Of, how you doing? Founder of Appeaty.
Great.
And feel free, Ernesto, to share your screen.
Yes, sure. I'm here. Are you able to see my screen?
Yep. There you go, good sir.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Ernesto. I'm the founder of Kemangi, and I like to mix food and technology. This is what we do in Kemangi. In both cases, you are a final consumer or a restaurant manager. For sure, you faced at least one of these frustrating situations during your days. Have you ever been in a foreign country where no one is able to understand you? And what about queuing outside the restaurant when you are in a hurry, or to split the bill at the cash desk? Wouldn't it be great to have a personal local assistant in your pocket and a priority pass to get inside the restaurant to eat exactly what you want at the time you like? Usually, traditional on-site dining is not efficient at all. But Appeaty is the sustainable and concrete solution to innovate everyday dining experience. We combine on-site table and room service with robots supports, deliveries and pickups. We provide an all-in-one service from digital payments to automatic translations, considering users' health, halal, kosher or vegan preferences. We are different because with Appeaty, at first food lovers decide the food they want in advance, even before arriving at the restaurant. Then they can select the restaurant that provides that food with just one app and log in. Finally, they check in at the restaurant and they enjoy their meal without any waiting time. We know that digital is the present standard, but cognitive is the next future, and we aim to provide restaurant manager and customers a new lens to manage everyday food orders with efficiency. In our vision, restaurant managers have to focus only on cooking and service activities. Final customers should only enjoy their meals, with Appeaty taking care of everything else. To do so, we developed an over 1,500 single sub-ingredients database, and we introduced the bytes for cross-currency payments and discount agreements. In the world, there are more than 50 million restaurants, and in the last year, over 1 billion people used an app to place a food order, with a 25% year-on-year increase. 70% of food lovers now find it helpful to see a complete menu on a smartphone in advance, and after pandemic, forecasts expect a revenge on site spending. But you know what? 88% of restaurants doesn't have a digital menu for on-site dining and is considering swapping to digital. The solutions on the market are many. Some of them are available only in some areas. Others probably have been used only once and for that specific restaurant. Most all of the app for food ordering focus on deliveries made by riders. We don't manage any rider system. We allow restaurants to do it by themselves, if they want. And especially, we allow people to do social networking, to invite friends or colleagues to share their meal with them. We transform digital orders in real table food service to meet and talk with people around. We apply for an innovative dropshipping system. We cash in from the final consumers and we cash out to the restaurants, taking a percentage as service fee. In a new market, with only our available resources, we can expect one new activation a week, and if we suppose that every single restaurant has at least 4 users a day for 300 days a year, with a spending of $25 each one, we can expect an EBIT of more than $500,000 in a 3 years' time. Restaurants in the USA are so many, and we have different strategies and opportunities for mutual growth. We are looking for partnership to connect Appeaty with local hotels and restaurants to share our database, and additional capital to enforce hardware machinery and to hire new collaborators in order to deploy and promote Appeaty in the United States market. Because higher is the number of restaurants that apply to Appeaty, happier are the food lovers, more data are available for research activities, and higher is the return for Appeaty and its investors. We really invite you to come and chat with us in GamerJibe to discover more about us. In the past, philosopher Feuerbach used to say that we are what we eat, and we think this too. In the real life, we are an innovative global startup made by Dr. Roberta Tardugno, postdoctoral researcher in food chemistry, and by me, Ernesto De Marchi, chartered accountant and legal auditor. We showcased an Appeaty all over the world, and we want really to thank you all for your time and attention. See you later in Gamer Jibe.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ernesto.
My pleasure.
All right. Next up, we got Donato, founder of Dilium.
Hi.
Donato.
Hi,
Ciao.
John. Can you hear me?
You bet.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Nice. So, have you ever heard about augmented reality? I'm Donato De Ieso. I'm co-founder of Dilium, and I'm an ET former teacher. And 4 years ago, with my two students, we opened this startup with focus on augmented reality. Augmented reality is challenge for these 4 years is like a lot of time to develop a custom application, high cost for development, and technical skill for create this kind of application. And so we have created the Photoshop of augmented reality. Software as a service application, easy to use, that you can create in a very simple way your augmented reality solution. How it works, I have a video to show. And in this case, I put an image inside our software. I can choose, for example, to insert an image of the author in this case, and I can add a link. In this example, I want to insert a shop and another link, and I can insert like a LinkedIn profile. I can move, I can rotate, I can scale all the image and video inside our target. And after save, the cloud, the machine learning, I put the camera on the book, magic happens. Everything is like in what you see is what you get mode. The user can interact inside the call to action and can navigate inside the link. We have a lot of experience that in this year we have created inside our platform, like a 3D model on t-shirt, retail, museum, art, educational, politician. Yes, absolutely. And because really no technical skill required, no developer expertise needed, but just drag and drop to create and edit your AR project. And so we have also create games, and absolutely for MediaTech Ventures, we have just like a exhibition for the logo. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, this is our case history in design, art, education, retail as well, events and advertising. Marketing validation is huge, 24 billion AR revenue in 2025, mobile AR, and a lot of customer now want to create to see the product inside the e-commerce for have like a digital twin of their product before both. Competitor, absolutely yes, especially in the US market, but we have a very affordable and customization area because it is very easy to use software. A software as a service business model with two different plan for month or for year. Our revenue, consider that from the last year we have 150% more, And absolutely, there are a lot of investment opportunity. And please ask me in the Gaming Forum for this really opportunity. I want to thank you. And this is my mail, and see you later. Thank you.
Thank you, Donato. Fantastic as always, and thank you for that video. Thanks for adding that at the end. That was awesome.
It's for you.
that was fantastic. Yeah, I've been having fun messing with the tool. I'll show you some of the stuff that I'm working on later. Awesome. Thank you. Good
See you
sir.
later.
Ciao. See you inside of the Gamer Job with your incredible
Absolutely.
shorts you're rocking in there.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Ciao. All right. Gabrielle, are you there, good sir? Hey, Gabrielle, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me, John?
You bet. Are you gonna practice the Wizard of Oz thing and not let us see you, or?
Yeah.
There he is. Hey, man.
You know what I am? Yeah, one of our client office.
Oh, there you go. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome. You got your screen shared?
Yeah, just give me a second. Can you see it?
No. Wait, yep. Wait, nope, that's Aurelio.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, let's click the share screen at the bottom there.
Okay, just give me a pitch deck. Okay.
Again, for those of you just tuning in, we're a couple pitches in. Welcome to Innovators of Italy. We're here now with Gabrielle, founder of Genuino. And we're going to talk a little bit about blockchain NFTs and what they're doing in sports as well. So really excited to a lot of blockchain stuff as well happening in Italy, which is exciting. So take it away, good sir.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Gabriele Bernasconi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Genuino. Genuino is a destination for whoever is fully in love with sport, fashion, art, and music. And it doesn't matter if you are a fan, a collector, or a crypto-savvy investor. What we are trying to make happen, that Genuino should be the word for everyone who wants to collect digital and own physical asset. Our main value proposition is the fact that we connect digital NFTs to physical item. And we do this pretty much developing software that obviously links digital to physical object. And we build NFTs collaborating directly with team athletes and artists in order to create a unique storytelling that are going to contaminate sports with fashion, art, and music. We start from two super important issues that are into the sports world. The first one that we are talking about, $15 billion sports market, and this $15 billion sport collectible market, 50% is counterfeited. And the second data fact is that between 50 to 80% of the revenues that are generated by sport club are done in game day activities and pretty much linked to media rights and sponsorship. So you understand that especially during a pandemic situation, the P&L of these big clubs have been so much hit by the crisis. So think about how it's important for clubs and teams to find out and understand the different revenue streamlines that obviously have never been considered. Regarding the sport collectibles and digital collectible, 2021 was an amazing year. We are talking about a market that reached more than 10 billion in transaction in Q3. And what is missing right now from the first winners, such as NBA Top Shot and So Rare, is the connection between digital and physical, giving obviously uniqueness and the utility to the NFTs. And this is what Genuino is trying to do, and what we are trying to make it happen in order to give a proper utility to whoever is going to buy the NFT. How we do it? So basically, the first step, in order to connect digital and physical, we created a smart patch that contains two different identification tags. With these tags that are embedded into the smart patch, we give the consumer first the opportunity to verify the authenticity of the object, because the smart patch is uniquely associated to the NFTs. That is the digital representation of the asset. Then the second tags give us the opportunity to certify and authenticate the fact that that specific jersey has been worn by a specific player during a certain match, because the patch is basically activated by an IoT sensor that is positioned at the stadium. So when the players wants the jersey, it passes through this IoT sensor, and all the information are directly written into the NFTs, that is the ID card of the physical item. So now imagine to discover unique digital and physical NFTs through unboxing packs, taking, let's say, part to unique auctions, and having the opportunity to unleash physical products and the unique experiences, like as we were used when we were in our childhood. So opening up instead of physical packs, digital packs. This is the experience that we are trying to put together with Genuino. In terms of a revenue model, our revenue model is pretty easy, because it's based on a revenue sharing mechanism, and we are going to share revenues on the primary marketplace with the club, and we share 50% of the revenues that are generated by selling the NFTs, and on the secondary marketplace we take a cut of 10%. In terms of traction, we have launched our experience at the beginning of August. We have made so far 3 different drops with Fiorentina, which is an Italian Serie A team, which we partner up with, and both the 3 drops went sold out in basically less than 12 hours. We sold more than 1,500 packs, and revenues generated so far have been around 100K. We have a strong pipeline with big names from sports, fashion, that wants to join the opportunity to connect digital and physical. We have so far patented a solution here in Italy, and we are waiting for the official settlement of the patent in order to extend it to 150 countries with a PCT. And we have a growing community, super involved and created organically through Discord and Twitter, of more than 2,000 users. And we just established really earlier an international NFT influencer ambassador program. In terms of next steps, what we are going to do, we are going to announce pretty soon a new partnership with the second Serie A team, and we are ready to deploy 1,000 Fiorentina packs every week. And we are ready to step in let's say, in a super great shape into the US market. We have already pitched our solution to one of the top 5 universities in US, and we are collaborating with 50 more universities in US in order to define a business case to bring Genuino as a sort of go-to-marketing strategy for US. And we are ready to open up a new sector that will be linked pretty much to the fashion world and being based here in Italy. Our actual fundraising, we are about to complete a round of 500,000 euros with a pre-money evaluation of 4.5 million euros. And our target is going to be to create more or less 1.5 million revenues between now and the 30th of June of 2022, which is going to be the end of football season, with the objective to raise then a post-Series A around, and we want to position the company between 25 to 30 million valuation. Our actual lead investor is CDP, which is basically a VC government-backed fund from Italy. And we have raised so far around more or less 800,000 euros. And our next fundraising will be totally focused on building up our community and marketing strategy, and to develop, let's say, all the creativity behind the production of NFTs. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I would like to thank John, Paul, and the rest of the team for the great opportunity and for the great help they gave us. And really hope there will be an opportunity to meet us soon in Chicago. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Gabriel. Excellent job. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of a change up. You get to see my beautiful face now. It's all worth it, trust me. That was great. So we're gonna get to see you in Gamer Jive after pitches.
Ciao.
Ciao. All right, who is next up? Wait for it. It's worth it, trust me. OpenBar. Nicola, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
There you are.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi all.
Hi, we're so excited to have you join us. We can't wait to hear about OpenBar. Do you have your screen ready?
Yes, give me a sec. Ready to go.
Ready to go, okay.
Perfect. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Nicola Matsukelli, and I'm the co-founder of OpenBar. Try to imagine this. Your phone rings. It's a notification alert that says that your friend Chris gifted you a beer or a coffee. How do you feel? You're happy, right? This is OpenBar. We associate brands to positive emotions. Nowadays, for businesses, it's very difficult to create an emotional impact on the target audience. There is another business review study that states that when a companies connect to customer emotion, the payoff can be huge. In fact, fully connected customers can be 3 times more valuable. OpenBar, it's an innovative marketing platform that allows any business to build relationships with customers or also employees through the simple gift of a drink or a coffee. Our platform is an intermediary between 3 main pillars, which are people, so our users that through our app can discover new venues or events, get access to dedicated offers like 2 for 1 or free drinks, and they have the shop where they can buy and gift drinks to friends remotely, anywhere they are. Then we have venues that are our bars that can acquire new customers. They are present already on a platform that is already in target with their target audience. They can also promote events and create a dedicated offer for our users. And then they have support in the digitalization process that is happening in their industry. In fact, they have access to a reporting tool able to track consumption and extract powerful insights. And then we have companies. then we can divide it into corporates and beverage brands that are willing to organize innovative and engaging digital events. These events can be happen simultaneously, and they are spread in time and in one or more location. Beverage brands can test or sponsor their product very easily and have access to real-time data and feedback from our users. And also, companies can create a digital event just to keep in touch with their employees or clients by organizing simple digital events. The business model. So our OpenBar is at the center of this three-side market, and where we get a percentage fee from all the purchase that happens inside our app. Venues, bars pay a subscription fee monthly, and then companies pay a fixed fee for every event, for the event management, drinks offer included. The market is very, very interesting. We're talking about the US market with a focus on US market right now. So the personalized gift market is valued at 2.1 billion, and that is expected to grow to double in the next 5 years. Talking about venues and bars and nightclub, the total turnover it's more than 30 billion. And this is very interesting, is a corporate event market. Just in the US is above 95 billion, is expected to grow double digit in the next 9 years. And there is a new trend that's happening in the market where large single events with many attendees are being preferred to micro events spread over time and places that can engage more people. As a competition, of course, we have many indirect competitors that operates on different verticals, but none of them has a value proposition as complete as ours. We started and launched OpenBar at the end of unfortunately, at the end of 2019, before the COVID breakthrough, but we gathered extremely positive data and feedback. We had more than 45,000 followers on our Instagram account. We had more than 20,000 downloads and more than 50 venues just in the city of Milan alone. This is our team. We are 3 co-founders, and we are happy to announce here that the CEO of Publicis Group Italy joined us as an advisory role. And we are currently open the first fundraising, and but given the contingency of the market, we decided to split the round in 2 tranches and raise the cash needed in order to cover the first 12 months of operations. Hoping to see you in Gamer Jibe, and see you later. Thanks for listening.
Excellent, excellent. Round of applause, Nicola.
Thank you.
I love the idea of an open bar, always. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's bring up our next innovator of Italy. And for those of you that are tuning in live, remember you can also join us inside Gamer Jive. So you can mix and mingle and network with each one of the innovators digitally, grab a drink at the open bar, or have a dance off later on during networking. So I would like to bring up next Spiritual Machine. Where are you, Elisa? There you are. Hello, welcome.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect.
Great, do you have your slides ready?
Yes, of course.
I do not see them shared here. There they are. Okay, 1 second. And you're good to go.
Ciao, I'm Elisa from the Spiritual Machine. Ever thought of creating your own spirits? In 2021, we received up to 10 requests per day from bars, hotels, restaurants, event organizers, and distilleries who want to do that. At the Spiritual Machine, we are digital spirits developers. We can go from your idea to a finished bottle, and from 1 bottle to 1 million in just 1 month. Our mission is to digitize an industry that has forever been managed 100% offline. That's why we are pioneers in the spirit tech industry. We acquire our leads digitally through our digital and social media marketing and through our online courses. Our academy made by experts for professionals. We nurture our leads digitally thanks to the creation of a proprietary community of infusionists, counting thousands of active professionals from all around the world. On top of that, we have been working on digitizing the whole process through the creation of a proprietary online configurator that allows our prospect to build their personalized products by following a step-by-step creation journey directly on the Spiritual Machine website. Our adventure started in 2015 when we decided to create our first spirits, and we had to face two big challenges: a lot of time needed to go to market and a lot of money. It took us 18 months and a big investment to have our bottles ready. We realized that there was a problem in the market that we could solve. We are operating in a huge market today. The global market spirits is $467 billion US, and the craft spirit production grew year over year by 33%, according to Statista. Thanks to our innovative process, we are able to create spirits in a safe, fast, and affordable way, taking care of recipe creation, tasting, sampling, bottling, labeling, shipping, and dealing with duties and taxes of alcoholic beverages. That means going from idea to market in just 1 month. It took us 2 years of research and development to do more than 40 blends, 100% natural, made from 150 botanicals. These ingredients have enabled everyone to create their spirits with endless combination and possibilities. Today, our clients are bars, restaurants, hotel chains, wine producers, distilleries, and event organizers. Thanks to the Spiritual Machine, these people are able to produce their very own spirits. The result in Italy is impressive. We have a customer acquisition cost of less than $800 and a customer lifetime value of almost $20,000. Also, 70% of the clients are reordering, usually doubling or even triplicating the number of bottles ordered. This is our year-over-year growth. Keep in mind that these figures reflect almost 2 years of COVID pandemic. Let me give you an example of what we can do for our clients. This is the story of Marcello Trentini, a Michelin star chef, who wanted to reinforce and expand his brand by creating his own line of spirits and ready-to-drink cocktails. With our innovative process, he managed to do that with no headaches. He received his bottle ready to be served, drunk, or sold. Meet our team, 3 founders, a team of motivated young people, and a panel of world-class advisors who are supporting us both on the production and in the financial and scaling strategy. In 18 months, we have become the company that has produced the highest number of active vermouth brands in history. And now we are ready to apply the same model to all other spirits: whiskey, tequila, gin, rum, etc. We have validated our model in Italy. We are starting operating in France, and today we are raising funds while looking for international partners and distributors in the US market in order to scale our business model and enter in the US market. We envision a world where each bar, restaurant, hotel, event organizer has their own personalized spirits. The Spiritual Machine will make this possible. Here in Italy, it's aperitivo time, so chin chin. See you on Gamer Jive.
My mic is muted. You got the idea. I'm clapping. That's great. Elisa, you had me at whiskey. I think your mic is muted. There you go.
Okay, I'm fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent. So we will definitely see you. One guest says, a spiritual machine makes me thirsty. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. We will see you in Gamer Jive.
See you. Bye.
Okay, so for those that would like to join us, again, I shared the link in the chat for Gamer Jive. Please come out. We're going to be networking with all the Innovators of Italy afterward. And if you'd like to get access to their pitches, join us at MediaTech.Ventures/join. You'll be able to go directly to their profile and take a look at what they're working on, and collaborate and reach out and all the other fun things that we have there that you still don't know about, but you will soon. So, but last but not least, let me bring up Marco.
Hello.
Hello, Marco, Artcentrica. How are
Hi.
you?
Very good. What about you?
Very, very good. I can't complain. We have some coffee.
Ah,
Everything is
fantastic.
good. Actually, it is my opera cup. So
okay.
I'm keeping in line. All right, we have your slides ready.
Yes, slide ready.
Okay, let's bring that up. Let's make sure your screen's on the right one. And
Do you see it?
we do.
Okay.
We do. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to exit and the show is yours.
Fantastic. So probably you all know this painting, which is allegory of spring from Sandro Botticelli. But even if you were in front of this painting now, you cannot appreciate all the details of this painting. And this is one of the things that we do with VirtuItaly, and especially with Artcentrica, which is our platform to bring art to schools and universities and to have a new experience with art and more. The challenges and opportunities that we see are that there is a gap that must be filled in education and technology. Art is not present in that area. Soft skills development, more and more young students need to develop soft skills to be ready to the fast challenges of the world. And art is a universal language for human empowerment, and this is more and more important. The trends in education and technology is that more and more this kind of market is driven by content consumption, customized experiences, and learning paths. And art is becoming more and more important. So you see this transition for STEMs, for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, to add art to these themes, so from STEM to STEAM. And Artcentrica is a cloud application that helps learners to see art through multiple lenses, connecting art to nature, to culture, to history. And inside Artcentrica, we already have Uffizi Galleries, Brera Museum, Metropolitan Museum in New York, Rijksmuseum, and Graphic Central Institute in Rome. And other museums are in the pipeline. Our value proposition is to provide to teachers and to students the opportunity to appreciate art in any detail with thematic exploration, both in the classroom as well as in remote mode. And from technical point of view, you are able to go in a detail of a painting of gigapixel images, measure some detail, connect that detail, and search visually, for example, a jewel, and you discover immediately all the other works of art that contain a jewel, and create easily customized lessons. The market that we are seeing is both created by educational global players. We are providing our solution to National Geographic, Brera Museum, and many others. But we see even a bigger market through that is composed of universities and art schools. And we want to reach this market through a network of ambassadors. The market is estimated in $1.3 billion. And at a later stage, we want to reach also the home market, so art passionates, through partners. And we are going to do this in 24-30 months with a market that is estimated in $5 billion. Our business model is based on a recurring fee that is connected to the number of devices and time duration of a contract. And part of these fees are provided to the museums. So we are innovating also the business model of museums. And at a later stage, we want to introduce also a mobile app. Management team is composed by myself, Paolo De Rocco, and Paolo Romoli. We have more than 20 years experience in culture and technology, and by an interdisciplinary team from software developers, UX experts, art historians, and so on. Our recent awards are the Giza Awards that has been provided by National Geographic, and we are working with National Geographic now. And very recently, 1 month ago, we have won Impact Attack call in Europe between a set of 278 participants. Funds and growth. We want to, we are seeking for a funding of $1.5 million to create a set of 150 customers in the first year and 1,000 customers in the second year. And at a later stage, we want another funding to create other 7,500 customers to reach a 20 million revenues and 6 million EBITDA in third year. So basically, we provide a new experience with art, both in classroom and also at the remote mode and a later stage at home. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Obviously, I'm available for any kind of networking in the Gamer Jive 3D ambient. And thank you again.
Excellent. Wow. Great job. I'm a clapper. I really like to clap for everybody, because when you have a pitch, you land it, you got to clap.
Thank you,
well,
Christy.
we will see you in Gamer Jive. Thank you so much for joining us.
You.
Okay, so next we have a special treat. Familiar faces for some of you, new faces for others, but I'd like to bring up our fearless leader, Paul O'Brien, the CEO of MediaTech Ventures, and we're going to talk a little bit about venture capital in Italy and the ways that we can continue to keep bridging the gap between Italy and the US startup ecosystems and economies. So let me bring up Mr. Paul O'Brien. Welcome.
Thank you, Christy. Hi, everybody. Our fearless leader, pitch coffee, no less. Our fearless leader. Thank you very, very much for that. That is, there's no proper response to that, because the fact is the startup community that we've been building together is a collection. It's a collaborative effort on the part of great friends in Italy, all of the folks like yourself, Christy, and everybody else that we work with close in Texas and in Austin, where I'm based. Hi, everybody. And of course, Chicago, where some of our partners as well have been working with the Italian trade agency through 2112. So I want to thank them all. I'm honored that you all are here. MediaTech Ventures for many, many months, indeed a few years, has been working very, very aggressively, much more internationally with friends in Italy in particular, as well as a number of other great countries. In large part, given the fact that two things have been happening. As I'm sure you're aware, there's increasing enthusiasm and excitement for this little state called Texas in the southern part of the United States. We definitely are a major hub and future of innovation and entrepreneurship as far as the United States is concerned. And we are honored to be able to play a role in supporting that internationalization, that globalization of technology and venture capital through this part of the world. The second thing, of course, that's been happening is this magical kind of thing that we've been doing here, that where once we couldn't easily work together, bless us all for making it through the quarantine and the challenges that COVID presented. But one upside to that is the fact that we've all learned to use the internet a little bit more. We're streaming now on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. And thanks to our friends at StreamYard, we're going to get a panel together right now to share with you and introduce you to a little bit more of Italy and some of the great venture capital and economic and innovation kind of opportunities that exist between the United States and that wonderful country in Europe. Without further ado, let me first introduce Aurelio Mezzotero, founder and managing partner at the Techshop in Rome. We'll have him pop up just to say hello. And then after I introduce everybody, Aurelio, how are you? I'll turn it over so they can each introduce themselves. I'd also like to say hello to Robert Pieroni. Robert's a great friend of ours by way of Houston, with Central Houston, working in economic development and ecosystem development in East Texas, and indeed throughout the entire state, if I'm being frank and not too humble about his incredible work.
Appreciate that.
Good to see you, Robert. Cheers. Joe Daniels is joining us from New York. Joe's been a fantastic partner and collaborator on behalf of the startup community and venture capital in general. He's the partner and co-chair of venture capital and entrepreneurship with McCarter in English by way of New York. And assuming our camera works, we'll pop him up right now, or I will say hello instead while we figure out where Joe's working. I'll say hello instead to Tarek Fahmy. Tarek from Milan is the CTO of the European venture builder StartupGym. Tarek, how are you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you as well. Cheers. Let me let you each introduce yourselves, and we're going to poke around and find out what happened to Joe Daniels. As is always the case, there are technical difficulties when it comes to working through the internet. So it sounds like Joe is offline for the moment. Aurelio, why don't you say hello for us first? Give us a little insight to the Techshop, what you've been doing by way of Rome and Italy in particular, and the kind of work that you're involved with in that part of the world.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to share what we are doing at the Techshop. First of all, a sort of special qualification. I live in Rome, but our fund is based in Milan, and I commute regularly because here in Italy we have an excellent high-speed train connection between Rome and Milan. So, and in fact, this is not by chance, because as Tarek knows, Milan is a little bit the core, the heart of our ecosystem. Having said that, what is Techshop? Techshop is a new venture capital firm, which is currently in fundraising and has been funded by myself. I have 13 years in venture capital experience, and my fellow partner Gianluca D'Agostino, who is a different walk of life from me. I'm more of a financial venture fund manager. He's an operator. He's a digital entrepreneur, and together we're mixing up forces to create a new venture capital, investing in B2B tech at very early stage. So we say we are proudly seed investors and early stage, in a moment when there is a little bit of risk aversion. And we try to find tech talents able to bring innovation in various B2B sectors in Italy, across all the digital spectrum. So we don't have any vertical specification. We don't love any vertical in specific, but we love a strong technological core. I would say that what also is peculiar about us, that it's not just a two-guy effort, but behind us there is a sort of web of more than 19 advisory experts that collaborate with us in every step of the screening process, and they are actually the real domain experts in the technological aspects we're going to invest. The fund has a target of 50 million euro, which I believe is a fair amount. It's not too much. Otherwise, you invest in the wrong things, but it's an adequate capital endowment to make the right choice, and also be able to follow on after the first investment. So we are excited to do this at this time, and we are also happy that we have at our backs, we have some of the most well-known investors in Italy. And, as probably other colleagues and speakers will point out, it's a sort of a magic moment for Italy at the moment. As you know, we are going to double down the investments in 2021 vis-a-vis last year. So venture capital is growing at a really fast pace. And we, in the effort of making our fund, we really delved into the fundamentals of the industry in Italy right now, and we really believe that in this decade, in this 2020 decade, we are gonna move from let's call it a market cap of 20 billion of the startup world, which is the amount right now. We're actually growing tenfold up to 200 billion by 2030. So there is a huge value creation opportunity. Probably I shouldn't say that too loud as an operator there, but I'm joking, because I believe in collaboration. We believe in a joint effort and co-investment. So this is really the right moment and the right timing to really approach our country seriously.
Cheers to that, Aurelio. Thank you very much for joining us. I've got a couple of questions that will seed our conversation this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Again, thanks everybody for joining us on the live stream. If you're on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Twitter, go ahead and ask some questions. Go ahead and comment or retweet. That'll help make sure everybody gets connected and has a chance to say hello today in the Gamer Jibe virtual environment, and of course afterward as we continue to collaborate. I'd love to say hello to Robert next, because Robert, of all people in this part of the world, in Texas, where I find myself as well, certainly knows how much excitement and enthusiasm that we have for what's been going on in Italy. He's been working with the Italian trade agency quite a bit as well by way of Texas. So Robert, tell us a little bit more about what you've been up to and what's going on as far as you see the state of things.
All right. Well, thanks, Paul. And I'm happy to be here. I'll say I wear many hats. Let's just put it that way. You know, you have the day life of, you know, economic development innovation here in downtown, specifically around a project that really was, how do you break the mold of ecosystem development? And that was, you know, piecing certain components of the startup ecosystem together in one location. Never been done before the way we did it, with Mass Challenge out of Boston and Generator out of Madison, Wisconsin, and Impact Hub, which is a global incubator all over the world. We decided to co-locate them all in one location and basically said, or trilocate them, innovate, and see what the outcome was. And the outcome was foreign governments, startups, corporations, and everyone just flocking to a space. And I've always said, if you create density and you do it as an honest broker, people will come to it. And so a lot of what I do is try to create the entrepreneurial ecosystem and then create bridging and value. And that's one way of saying it. And so working with the Italian trade agency, not only with the Global Startup Program, but with ASI, and so the space program as well, working with hubs and from Trovisa and on, how to interconnect startups into American market. And that's either within an SDO, so a startup development organization, or helping get them prepared for venture capital, or find a soft landing. I work very closely with the Italian trade agency in Houston and LA. And so that's kind of where my bread and butter is. Hopefully soon I'll be working with the group out of Chicago as well. But I also, from an experience perspective, have a wide range. I have the pleasure of a lot of people that just, I guess they like me, I'll say, Paul. I get to work with, as an advisory board member for an Austin-based venture fund called Ecliptic Capital, which I know, Paul, you know well, the Mikes and Worthy and Adam, and just an incredible team of people who see venture capital the way it used to be, and that's partnership. I always tell startups, you know, when you take venture funds, take it as a partnership. Don't always just take fast money, I guess the best way to say that, right? Take smart money. Be with someone that wants to actually be with you, to grow with you. It's kind of the way it used to be. I also have the pleasure of sitting on the Mass Challenge Texas board, the Generator board, and then startups in many different verticals across the country, from New York to Austin. And so just very blessed to do that. And then how do we now connect a country in which I love to the American market and to venture capital and the opportunities and the access that we can provide?
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to everybody getting to know you better, Robert, as well. Certainly connect with him via LinkedIn. And if we can help put him in touch, you could do that with us through MediaTech Ventures. Go ahead and look us up there and you can register and join us. And we're happy to make sure everybody gets connected and starts working more together, especially too, as we're talking about building ventures. Nobody knows that better than Tarek. How are you? He's with the European venture builder StartupGym. So really excited to get a sense for what his perspective is in developing entrepreneurs and developing new ventures in that part of the world. Tell us a little bit more about what you've been working on.
Thanks. Yeah, no, happy to be here. And, maybe I'm a little bit of a different background than some of the other panelists here because, I'm actually a technical person. I'm an engineer by background, less on the financial side. I've actually only been in Italy for about just over a year now. I spent the last decade or so in Silicon Valley and kind of seeing that journey of growing a company from essentially zero to IPOing a decacorn value and kind of seeing that growth of what it's like in an ecosystem that's super mature like Silicon Valley, and then coming to Italy and starting to kind of see that comparisons and the contrasting points and seeing the strengths here. And I actually came to Italy specifically to kind of follow my passion for something that Italy is really strong at, which is the motorsports and the automotive space, which you might be able to tell a little bit from my background that that's something I'm interested in. I spent about 8 months in Bologna at a very interesting program at Bologna Business School that's focused on kind of these made in Italy type of economies and understanding kind of how they work, and really saw the value in the ecosystem here and the growth potential, like Aurelio was saying, about kind of where the next few years are going to be for the Italian ecosystem. But also saw that there are some challenges and some hurdles here kind of around willingness to take risk, but also having that kind of ecosystem around founders and around MVPs and startup ideas to help kind of bootstrap them, get them out into the market. I met with Enrico Pandian, who's the CEO of StartupGym, and he's a prolific entrepreneur here in Italy, has many different success stories, as well as Giuseppe Bolzano, who's our CFO. And essentially the idea of StartupGym is that it's a startup studio model. You have many different startup studios around the world, but our approach is one where we actually kind of scout the ideas internally from within the studio. We look at ideas around the world, things that maybe don't exist in Europe, don't exist in Italy, and have a lot of promise here and have a lot of opportunity to grow here. We build those MVPs, we launch them into the market, and we collect that data and understand whether that business really has the opportunity to be a successful startup on its own. And then we work with founders and launchers, which are kind of maybe a slightly more junior profile, who's looking to be that aspiring entrepreneur down the line. And we help give them kind of the framework and the support and work with them to basically pass on these MVPs that are successful in the market to them to be able to then, take ownership of and grow as their own companies, which we then participate with them as kind of seed stage investors and help see their growth going forward. And really what we see from this model is it's something that allows us to reduce a lot of the risk it takes to launch a new idea into the market. We're able to bootstrap beyond a lot of the regulatory hurdles, a lot of the hiring hurdles, the developmental hurdles that come with starting a business. And that helps both from growing the pool of entrepreneurs who want to take a risk, because now they have this kind of support system around them that allow them to kind of try ideas, try new things without taking on a ton of risk on their own, but also helps us from kind of an investment standpoint to know what ideas already have some validation in the market before investing further and really growing a business. So, I think it's a really great model for this time in the Italian ecosystem and this really big growth period that I think is hitting this Italian ecosystem. And, looking forward to continuing to build that out and, working with everyone here as well to hopefully, be a part of that journey as well.
Cheers to that. I love and can't help but point out the subtle comment that you made about the mature ecosystem of Silicon Valley. And I pointed out because I spent a few years there as well. And I think I can speak for all of us in pointing out or affirming that we would not be all doing what we're doing and having the impact that we're having on Italy and Chicago, the northern part of the United States and Texas, if indeed Silicon Valley was that mature, that if there wasn't tremendous opportunity for us all to collaborate a lot more and to do so on behalf of other industries than that traditional kind of semiconductor and computer and internet ecosystem that Silicon Valley is known for. I think that's evident today. And even Tarek, in another point that you made, I think that's evident today, because if you look at some of the startups that have come through our session this morning, we're looking at blockchain, we're looking at more media and immersive kind of experiences in art. We're looking at even food, and I know every single one of you caught wind of the beverage company that's doing something that we all want to take advantage of. That to me is very Texan. I'm excited that these are the kind of companies that are reflected in this part of the world. Tarek, you also touched on motorsports, which is a big part of this ecosystem as well. Aurelio, let me ask you first, and I would love everybody's perspective a little bit. Let's get to know Italy a little bit better. What are the other kind of industries or sectors of distinct innovation or distinct strength that you're seeing there that we all in the United States, or indeed throughout the rest of the world, for our listeners, our audience, we all might get a better appreciation of where to work with Italy, why to work in those sectors in particular with Italy? What are the kind of things that you guys are excited about there?
So yeah, first of all, I would say Italy has plenty of talents, of tech talents, and I've really saw this ourselves while looking at building our pipeline for our funds, and we were really amazed. It was beyond our expectations, the number of entrepreneurs, founders, and which have a strong technical background. And so there are a lot of seed opportunities in Italy at this moment. So I would speak of a very well widespread tech talent. Probably what we miss is a little bit of experience and expertise in actually operating expertise, in actually bootstrapping and growing a business. So what we really, the opportunity to improvement is really on the entrepreneurial side. So having said that, like across the board, I would say that in some industries, Italy may have a lead. Of course, and also we have a demonstration about this today. Of course, any innovation stemming from what is called made in Italy, sectors like not necessarily lifestyle and tourism related industries, but also what in Italy is really strong is the automation, light machinery, manufacturing. Let's remember that Italy is the second most productive manufacturing countries in the world, and the fifth in the world for overall per capita output in manufacturing. So we really are a manufacturing, let's say, power in like also if measured at an international level. So I would say that any innovation that builds upon these sectors may have a strong chances to make it. Of course, it must be created on new foundations, and the technological layers that we look at, I believe here we are not particularly original. We look, of course, at artificial intelligence, AI. We look at cloud. We look at 5G, which also is strong in Europe and is probably stronger than anywhere else in the world. And we also look at big data analytics. These are all sorts of innovations that we really like. The other mention I'd like to make on the verticals is fintech. Also, fintech is a surprising sector for us. It's really been a source of interesting leads in our pipeline. I believe that most of it depends on the fact that incumbents, the financial service incumbents in Italy are pretty slow. So there is a lot of room to innovate and literally steal clients and business from them. And the other, let's say, macroeconomic event that favored Italy was, of course, Brexit. We have a lot of talents, either foreign people or Italians from the Italian diaspora that are actually coming back to Italy from London. And this is a huge, this is also one of our theses. One of our theses is also to fund and lure Italians from other ecosystem back into Italy, but not necessarily to grab them out from this ecosystem, but to create a bridge between their existing locations and Italy.
Brilliant, thank you. Your point about manufacturing is one that I'm reminded Bart Pasquale mentioned last week in an event that we held with the Italian Trade Agency, a wonderful example of a distinct strength in that part of the country. His comment that so much of what goes into smartphones and of course the automobile is manufactured in Italy is I think something that may not be known well to everybody. So greatly appreciate those thoughts. Robert or Tarek, any other thoughts on some distinct strengths in that part of the world, things that we should certainly know about what's going on in Italy? Robert, it looked like you had a thought to share first.
I would love to, and just real quick, from an industry vertical perspective, I mean, you look at like sports tech, but really when you dive into like human performance, not necessarily e-game and esports, right? There's an opportunity that we've seen starting to bubble up. Obviously, we're all fans of our particular teams. And what country better to see that passion? And so there's definitely that. I've seen a lot in the fashion tech kind of world coming out of where these two great gentlemen are from. That is definitely an industry sector. Agro-tech or ag tech is definitely huge. On a recent trip down in southern Italy, I came across a lot of ag tech companies, and so we're definitely seeing that. And then I mean, how would we not point out the fact? I have to mention space and space tech, and that's upstream and downstream. But then, and I'm hoping that these two gentlemen might touch on it better, but the things that are happening in Rome when it comes to transportation and smart city technology is really advanced. And if I'm not mistaken, just recently, there was a really exciting pilot project that took place when it came to movement of people within urban cores that just happened in Rome. So I really think that's kind of some of the things we're seeing. And then, of course, you always have your traditional, right? When it comes to food and automobiles, I mean, the best cars in the world are clearly from one particular place. And if anyone's here from Ford or anything, I apologize. But I'm a little biased towards the cars I see in the background here.
Yeah, I echo pretty much everything that's been said there. And I think in the picking up from the automotive space, I think there's the actual car development itself, but a car is made up of so many different components, and you see a lot of interesting companies here that are building things that expand beyond what would normally be found in a car. Take a company like Dallara. They're a very well-established company here, but it still operates somewhat like a startup in terms of how they approach new types of businesses. And their understanding of carbon fiber manufacturing is well ahead of anyone else around the world. And that has applications in energy production, has applications in space, and many other places beyond just automotive. But you also have startups here. There's this one company down in Sicily called Magic Motorsports, and they few people will know about this, but they actually develop some of the core that's used by tuners all around the world to tune ECUs in cars. And they take their kind of knowledge of kind of mechatronics, electronics, and kind of software development, and are able to build something that is truly universal. But I think another area to also touch upon too, and we saw this in one of the pitches, is the arts. I think Italy is long history in the arts, and we saw a pitch today about kind of being able to interact more with arts in the museum. But I think also few people know that when you ask your iPhone or Google for like lyrics of a song, that's powered by a company that's based out of Bologna, Music Smash, and they're the ones who power all of that lyrics technology. And so there's a lot of these interesting things that you don't necessarily associate with Italy right away, but is actually building a lot on that strength and that heritage that the country has.
Cheers to that. I love that question in particular, because as we've done more and more of these global and international panels, my comment, Tarek, my comment about Silicon Valley rings more and more true. That I truly believe that Silicon Valley was perhaps our infant stage, in fact, not our mature stage, but our infant stage as far as the internet is concerned. And it's in the rest of the world that we're exploring so much more potential that is really just being uncovered. This is the forum, this is the format in which we want to learn about that and celebrate that, because most of the world doesn't know what we do well in different parts of that globe that we live on. Joe, good to see you. I'm glad you made it on. and glad you have a few minutes to share with us. Joe from McCarter and English, a big thank you to you. McCarter and English in particular, a huge thank you because they've been a great sponsor and partner of ours for quite some time, along with Dell Technologies, along with, of course, 2112 and our development partners over at Innovate. Joe, give us a quick sense for what you've been working on through McCarter and English and the work that you kind of do. And if you could as well, gentlemen, if you could as well, let me ask you this final thought. And Joe, you could take us here first. Give us a sense for how best to collaborate more between Italy or Europe in general and the United States. Joe, I know you do a lot of that work. So as you're letting us know a little bit more about McCarter and English, take it right into your thoughts or some advice on how best entrepreneurs and venture capitalists can do more when it comes to working together between countries. Take it away, sir.
You got it. So I'm going to give you the short version. So my firm is McCarter and English. It's about 175 years old. So we represent startup to Fortune 25 clients, and we have a department for everything a business needs. IP, litigation, real estate, and I'm in the corporate department. So I do mostly corporate finance and M&A. That includes VC work. And we have 400 lawyers and 11 offices throughout North America. We've been representing founders forever, including Thomas Edison. And for example, we did about 180 deals for about $8 billion so far this year in the emerging company venture capital space. And we usually rank pretty high in the pitch book in terms of the number of angel and VC deals that we handle every quarter, every year. We have over 100 IP lawyers, over 100 litigators to help out companies and funds. And I've been doing this for 25 years. I joined the group that took Netscape public and sold it to AOL back in the early 90s. And I've represented a bunch of big U.S. public tech companies and private equity and venture funds and Credit Suisse and Morgan Stanley on the underwriter side. I've done 25 IPOs, scores of M&A deals, thousands of financing. So, the way that I see collaboration best emerging between, Italian VCs and U.S. VCs is probably where, the trend I always see is that, companies get pre-seed, maybe seed financing, sometimes A round in Europe, and then they very commonly redomesticate into the U.S. and try to seek financing in the U.S. because the U.S. has such a large, has amalgamated such a large pool of venture capital resources. And then, so obviously, the Italian venture firms or European firms that have invested in Italian startups then it's good for them to have relationships with the U.S. investors so that they can get those rounds filled, so that the Italian VCs can introduce their companies, their portfolio companies to the U.S. investors, and get those companies more and more funding rounds in which they themselves could also participate. And furthermore, they might get introductions of good U.S. companies that the Italian investors could invest in.
Aurelio, would love to toss the same kind of question to you and get your perspective from that side of the pond, so to speak. Give us a sense for any advice that you've got on making sure that we can work even more closely together.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually agree on what Joe said. I believe that it may be interesting for foreign investors and US investors in the first place to have a look at portfolios of early stage investors in Italy, so domestic investors, simply because, as I was saying, for instance, in our case, we're a 50 million seed stage fund. We don't have the ammunition to cater for the future capital requirements of our portfolio companies. So in this case, I believe it makes incredible sense that there is a kind of relationship and sort of based on trust among investors, and we would just welcome investors from the US or from any other more sophisticated ecosystems actually taking a serious look at our best companies. And in general, if I can add, I believe that I've been in this industry in Italy for almost 12 years, so I've been through quite a lot of evolution, and I can see that I don't know if Tarek can vouch for that. I've seen also a change of mentality. People are becoming more prone to collaborate and building a sort of mini ecosystem like we try to do at the Techshop, but having no fear in connecting our own micro ecosystem with the whole ecosystem in general. So I believe that this is a good way to nurture the venture capital sector in Italy and to create more and more innovative companies.
Brilliant perspective, and I love that we're reinforcing the potential in connecting the venture capital ecosystem, because it's those resources that help alleviate some of the risk or help enable the entrepreneurs to take greater risks. And it's folks like Robert and Tarek. I'm going to ask you the same question to help us wrap up, who know that well. We're all in the venture builder business. We're all in the economic development business. Great connecting with you two as well. Love that we can do a lot more together. Robert, any thoughts from your perspective in your work through cities or economic development or Texas and Houston in particular on what more we could do to make sure the entrepreneurs and the startups are getting access to the rest of the world?
Yeah, no, it's not to give too much of a plug, but I think what ITA is doing with the Global Startup Program, to be honest with you, has been huge. And I know with COVID, it's been a little setback of getting them there, but really the way the Silicon Valley or any tech hub around the world has worked has been density and collisions. We all know that it's simplistic to that form. And so by having a large concentration of startups from Italy showing like the best and the brightest, I guess is the best way to say it, and coming to the American market and then getting into investor pitches or getting into these collaborative spaces, if they're SDOs, if they're co-working, is going to be the quickest way for venture capital from America to head that way. I think what's the panelists will agree is there's a lot of startups in the US. And so you need to kind of be here with a nice concentration to show it. And ITA, I mean, I use them a lot, but Sal from the Houston office has been incredible connecting us with Italian startups, and Seb from the LA office has been incredible of bringing them here so we can show a concentration, basically like a bundle of great startups. But the one thing I did notice is what they're really trying to do now is kind of get them accelerated more to what you would see early stage American-based startups. On my recent travel, what I realized was some of the startups there had said they were a little farther along, but then if you were to compare them to what is happening in the US, you'd actually be like, you're a lot less far along. You might not even have an MVP built. You kind of have a concept, but you're there. And so I know there's some of those things that ITA and MediaTech is working on to help flush out so there is an apples to apples comparison. But it's really density and collisions, and that's either digitally or physically.
Tarek, you've done this throughout the world, not just in Italy, and so I'm honored to kind of wrap up with your thoughts. I love Robert's point, indeed, that the internet has enabled this. We're experiencing it here in the fact that we're streaming it in social media, and I agree with his point in particular that one of the things we've noticed is that throughout the world there are often different expectations as to stage, and so the extent to which we can normalize that, I think makes it actually rather easy for entrepreneurs in different parts of the world to start to work together. Your thoughts as we finish the panel?
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And, I think tapping on something that Aurelio was talking about, building a connected ecosystem, even domestically as well, and having that ecosystem help bridge the gap. I am starting to see more of that. I've only been here for a year, but I am seeing that appetite for companies here to work together, to share their best practices with each other, to share their connections with each other, because maybe you have a VC connection or a funding connection that's not at the right stage for you, but it's okay if it's there for one of the other companies in that network, because if one of you succeeds, that helps the entire ecosystem move up in its kind of reputation, its standing around the world, and its acceptance by other countries, and to work with Italy and to funnel money into the country. And I also think, again, kind of a shameless plug for kind of what StartupGym is doing is, by helping to bootstrap some of these businesses and help kind of build a playbook for businesses around what does it mean to actually test an MVP in the market? What does it mean to actually kind of collect the right metrics that that an investor would want to see to make a decision about whether to invest or not. And we don't want to just do that for only our studio businesses. We want to share that with other companies here. And one thing that I've seen as well over the few months that we've been working on this is we've reached out to startup studios in the US and in other countries around the world, and we've seen this willingness to collaborate, to share, because there are tons of ideas out there. Just because this studio, an idea comes out of our studio does not mean that another studio somewhere else is losing money. We will all benefit together, and that willingness to share and willingness to work is already there, but it just kind of needs someone to reach out and build that connection and be willing to share the connection with others. And I think that's what we all need to just keep pushing forward.
Indeed, if I could reinforce that of the greatest takeaway of this conversation, and indeed my own experience working with startups for 20 some odd years, however much gray I've got, it's the fact that there are a lot of folks like us that sit in the middle of the ecosystem and want to drive more collaboration, recognizing that there are entrepreneurs, there are mentors, there are investors throughout the world that can better help us take these great risks and drive better change. So, gentlemen, an honor having you with us today. I want to thank you indeed again, Aurelio Mezzotero, Robert Pieroni, Tarek, Fahmy, and Joe Daniels. A great pleasure having you here with us. Would love to make sure everybody gets connected with you, whether that's through LinkedIn or certainly on MediaTech Ventures platform. We're going to all be in Gamer Jibe. So those of you that have joined us, if you want to socialize a little bit, if you're in Gamer Jibe, pop over to the networking room so we can say hi. And as I wrap up and bring Christy back up with us to say adieu to the panel, I want to thank one more time 2112 and the Italian Trade Agency for helping us host this. And of course, to McCarter in English and Dell Technologies and our friends at Innovate for being one of our technology partners as well in producing and putting all of this together for the world, for us being able to teach founders and entrepreneurs and connect investors like those that we've just had join us. Hi, Christy. Welcome back.
Hi. I made it. Yeah, it's very exciting. Wow, that was a great panel. I loved it. Great conversation. We had some good comments that popped up. David said, it's about time Texas and Italy has more in common than Westerns. Thank you for that, David. And this whole panel, bravissimo. I can't say it right. You think I would? My mom was going to kill me. Well, I'd like to bring everybody into Gamer Jive. John was sharing a little bit of what he was doing and how he was moving around, and I'd actually like to take you in and show you some of where part panels are and where you can mix and mingle and have a dance party if you'd like. So let's hop on in there. I'm going to share my screen. Window, maybe.
I love as you're pulling that up. It never even dawned to me. Last week when I hosted a talk with the Global Entrepreneurship Week through Fort Worth, Bart Pascoli from the Italian Trade Agency up in Chicago reminded me, and I feel terrible that it wasn't top of mind, but reminded me of Marconi's role in the development of so much of the media ecosystem and media world in which we live. I share that because it's too easy to forget how quickly and we move in technology and how fast we can connect through experiences like this and have a good time, not just in person, but virtually. So thanks.
Here we go. More people are popping into the room. Can you see?
Got it.
Got it. Great. So this is our networking room where you can come on in and you'll see people, actually avatars standing around. So you can do lots of different things with your avatars. You can come over here and customize them. So I think I'm going to go with some blue hair right now. And whatever you feel like. Also, there is swag, so MediaTek t-shirts and things to unlock fun little gadgets. You can come over here and get what I believe is a much needed coffee or drink. Here we go, beverage. And then if we really want to get down, which I think is important here because we just did amazing, so it's time to boogie. Anybody going to join me on the dance floor? I mean, I got wicked moves. I don't spill a drop of my drink.
This is the little embodiment of the metaverse with all this excitement about Facebook lately, depending on the side of the fence of Facebook that y'all are on in the audience. This is what the metaverse is all about. This is the kind of experience that exists, whether it's in a gaming environment like Fortnite or Minecraft or an immersive experience that you might have had the opportunity to try out through an Oculus or other VR goggles. This is a platform created by some wonderful friends up in Chicago, and with some folks down here in Austin, Texas at Gamer Jibe, and it's a wonderful environment to host a world, host a conference, host a meetup. Thanks for showing us this, Christy.
Yeah,
and
they designed the Italian landscape for us in the back, so we actually have it a view. So here's where all of the networking is going to happen. You can meet with, I see Ernesto and Dilium. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Absolutely love those short shorts. They're great. And the Santa hat, it's very on point. But there's lots of other things to do within the platform. The main thing that I want to make sure everybody knows about is that you can connect with people directly. So if I'm interested in partnerships, I'm going to come over here and have a talk with Marco with Artcentrica, find out more about what he's doing. But also keep in mind, you can join us at MediaTech.Ventures/join, where you'll get to see each one of the profiles for our innovators here, and you'll be able to connect directly and see their pitch decks and schedule meetup times with them. So that, and it's really cool to just kind of hang out with like-minded people. I do appreciate that. It's what you said, Paul, like this metaverse and how we're kind of encapsulating in a different experience. It's kind of cool to see how it's been adopted, specifically because of the catalyst of everything that's happened in the last year and a half, 2 years. So really neat. Well, I am going to stop sharing. I think that has ended our wonderful Innovators of Italy tour and experience. I see that Bart is actually here. I'd like to bring Bart back up and want to tell you thank you so much for ITA and the partnership that we have. It's great.
No, we can't thank you both enough. It's really made a strong impact on today's audience, especially the format and the presentations, and the panels have been quite fruitful and enriching, and we're looking forward to encouraging our engagement with MediaTech in 2112. And you're great partners, and we really thank you for the branding and awareness you're creating for our Italian startups that are here today.
Stop it, I'm blushing. No, it means a lot because we pour a lot of ourselves into this as well. We love helping startups. I personally love working and mentoring with startups because I've been there. I know what it's like. It can be lonely, and it's nice to be able to connect with people. So thank you so much for what you're doing with ITA. And then I think, is Scott on with 2112? I want to make sure to thank Scott and 2112. Y'all are amazing partners in Chicago. You'll keep us on our toes. And I can't wait to get up there, although I was told don't go in winter because I'm not a cold person. So John told me wait until the spring. You'll like it much better, much more.
Well, we'll have a bunch of them with 2112 the first week of December 6th for an in-person event.
Excellent.
Yes, so we encourage the audience to engage with MediaTech in 2112 to take part in that activity that we'll be doing.
Yes, we'll be sharing any events that happen, any networking opportunities to connect through the website and through social channels for 2112 and ITA and MediaTech. So keep us on your radar. Thank you again, Bart. I really appreciate it. Paul, thank you so much for moderating the panel and for all the team behind the scenes, Anahit, Megan, John, Marlon, Ted, everyone. Y'all made this all happen and y'all are amazing and I really appreciate you. So I'm going to bid everyone adieu.
Thank you all. Good to see you again. Share, connect, like, love, comment. We'll see you in Gamer Jibe.